And that's why the guy who was in front of me left. So he left in December. I came on in January, so the students didn't get hurt. And that's the bottom line. All right, we kept on, and finally I did get assistantship, and it takes years to get there, but it's a set amount of years, nothing that you can't overcome. And all of a sudden I hear that there's a Kellogg Foundation looking for students, people, educators, teachers, to go to school and get another degree.
Good.
Let me back up and say, Daddy wanted me to get a degree, master's, as soon as I got my BS degree. And I told him, Daddy, I need to not ask you for a nickel, and I need to go to work, please. I promise you, God willing, you're still alive, that you and Mom will see me cross the stage and I'll get my master's. Here it is. Kellogg Foundation falls into my lap. All I do is say, yes, I'll take it. And off we went to do the paperwork to go to school. And I chose Vanderbilt University because it was there in the city.
Good.
My daughter is about, what, year to 18 months old, give or take a couple of months. But the bottom line is, she's here, I can't leave town.
Okay.
So, no, not a problem. Okay, so I go to school, I get in. I started I got my master's in engineering management, and in that particular department, you have 2 semesters that sandwich in a year of work that you can get your data for your thesis. So I'd already taken care of that at TSU. I couldn't go back to the ME department, but I had my job ready to sandwich. One of the guys, there were about 10 or 15 in my class, one of the guys asked Mr. Mullen, who was on our advisory committee, can you get a job for Clark out there at your plant? He said, I don't see a problem. I'm a manager. I don't see a problem.
Okay.
So I am now going to the company that had no use for me when I first came to TSU.
Okay.
Now, we're looking about 16 years later.
Okay.
But Mom and Dad are still healthy.
Okay.
And we'll be working.
Took you 16 years to make it around to being recognized.
No, to get that Kellogg Foundation. The Kellogg Foundation gave me the opportunity to go to school.
Okay.
And that's what I did. I got a 2 years leave of absence.
Okay.
I was not paid the same stipend as the men because I was a female.
All right.
They did not even bother to take out Uncle Sam, so I had to go borrow money to pay Uncle Sam because they didn't want my check to look so small.
Okay,
I've been hit twice. So anyway, I go to Ford Glass Plant, and I was introduced like everybody else is who goes over there. Manager said, if you have any problems, please let me know. That's the plant manager. Somebody else in the intermediate said the same thing. Mullen knew me, so he didn't open his mouth because he was advisory for the group I'm in. And then when Akins said, Clark, come on in, and I said, hold it, Akins. Let me go get my cigarettes, because we were smoking in those days. And we came back and we closed the door. He said the same thing. You got any problems? Please let me know.
All right.
I said, Akins, this is... they would call me Bonnie then. Bonnie, if you have any problems, I said, if I have any problems, you'll know it first. So do me the favor of telling me I got a problem, because I can watch my back.
Okay.
He gave me a project that was 2 years behind getting started, and it was a rebuild of the #1 float glass plant furnace. So he said, you got a problem with this? No, they're all engineers. He said, yep, we know where everything is. So I said, thank you. I went to every engineer. I said, so-and-so, look in the bottom drawer of your desk in the back. Find this, find that, and find the other. I went around all my engineers, checked them all off, went back to Akins. We got it. Let's roll.
Okay.
So we knew where everything was. So everything is going along, and I look up, and somebody on the 3rd shift is moving my brico block around in the warehouse.
All right.
I said, I wonder what that's all about. So I'm not supposed to do this, but I got on a tow motor and told the driver, we need to go through the rows in the warehouse. Can you take me? Sure. we still looked out because they knew I was at school doing something. I think that's why I got most of their respect. This chick is still going for another degree, and they respected that.
All right.
And so we found everything, and all of a sudden I heard nothing moved again. So I said, what in the world happened? Found out I wasn't complaining. They got tired of moving the stuff.
All right, okay.
I guess I was supposed to get upset.
Okay,
Since I didn't get upset, they quit moving my blocks.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I lost one thing during the rebuild. As you know, usually rebuilds are done by people who really can't get a good job. They got some kind of record, but that doesn't bother anybody.
Okay.
Because they're going to do construction work. Lost one cable that the wreckers use when they picking up a car.
All right.
Only thing I lost.
Out of the whole process.
Out of the whole process, and I knew where it was. And you can pick a lock. We just had a 5-cent lock on the. You make sure that the people who are honest stay honest, because you can't keep an unhonest person out of anything.
All right. Okay.
So we fired up on time, and I was there about a couple of days at my desk, and security came over. I said, what in the world have I done now? We hadn't signed paperwork for me to even get paid. Mother just never thought about it. You know, when you're working with somebody, so I signed the paperwork so I could get paid. And that's the only time security has been to my desk. But that was a good opportunity. And I found out that one guy, we had sensitivity workshops. One guy in that group really didn't like blacks. I didn't know it. And but one day he decided to ride his buddy's motorbike and wouldn't put the helmet on.
Okay.
He's either downstairs looking up.
Okay.
He left us.
Yeah. So he.
But we found that out during sensitivity workshop. Okay. I'm coming back now. Mom and Dad and my brother have seen me walk across Vanderbilt State. I got my master's in engineering management. First female. Now I had sent some of my previous, I had been department head twice, so some of my guys I had sent to Vanderbilt to get into the engineering management program. So consequently, I was not the first black. I had sent 2 fellows over there.
Earlier, before you.
And one came back as our dean in 1988.
Okay.
Because he finished when I was department head.
Okay, very good.
Okay, but the bottom line is I am now back at Tennessee State. The same dean is not there, and I said, do you know how much I'm going to get my raise? Because that's why you go out and get another degree, to come back and get a raise. He said, you married? I said, you see my husband sitting here? I said, you find out how much I'm supposed to get, please.
All right.
And then I excused myself and went on back to my office, because the office stayed there even when they put somebody else in it. The office didn't go anywhere.
All right. And then, of course, we've got about a minute and a half before we end today, Professor Clark. But in your overall experiences at Tennessee State University and as a female engineer, what could you say over about the last minute and 15 seconds to young women who feel that they are challenged now in terms of meeting the kind of opposite? It might not be as overt now as it was then. What would you say to young women?
Ain't nothing stopped.
All right.
It's just as bad now as it is then, but it's under the pillows. It's under the sheets. You can't see it. It's invisible. But if you think you've got the ability, don't say no.
All right.
Don't wear anybody else's problems. Always, many a day, I have come back and said, can we revisit yesterday's conversation? Only thing they can say is yes or no. Puts it back on them again. Just be ready and be prepared. And we've taken the engineering school from 2 females, and one of them was a secretary, to 20% enrollment in engineering female.
And of course, I think, Professor Clark, that sort of testifies to what your determination has done, because we're very much aware of what you've done in terms of opening up opportunities for young people, and especially young African-American females who might have faced, without your help, more severe problems than you felt. As a matter of fact, you faced them with humor. And a lot of folks are not able to do that. And let me thank you for coming by and giving us that information today.
Okay.
And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.